your life is feeling fatally flawed, the empowered approach to astrology can remind you that the universe dwells within you. You can experience this approach in action through one of my Empower Hour sessions, which you'll find available to schedule at the link above using the discount code YT specifically for my YouTube viewers. So we don't like simple answers. Yes, you heard me correctly. We don't like simple answers. We become jaded by the experiences that we go through in life, the hardship that we feel that we have to suffer, life's ups and downs that feel quite often like, well, a tumultuous roller coaster ride that makes us want to barf the moment that we get off. And sometimes we're not able to get off and we just have to barf as we go along. And we know that that's no fun. But sometimes, just sometimes, the answer can be quite simply surmisable by just tuning in to yourself and the first thing that comes to your mind. But with this particular full moon energy, there's a impetus, that's the word I'm looking for, to go back over things, to refine the approach. Once a simple approach comes to mind, your mind goes, I'm not sure about that. I need to strategize a better way. That can't be that easy. Maybe I need to do this instead of that, one simple action that's going to just make things better. I know I'm going to need to sacrifice for the sake of this particular situation I'm dealing with. And my initial impulse in terms of sacrificing is just to do this, take care of it, get it over and done with, and just let it be complete. But it can't be that simple. So perhaps I need to do this. No, that wouldn't be a good idea. Maybe I need to, instead of taking that simple action, maybe I need to add a few extra steps in. That might take a little bit longer than I want it to. No, that's not it either. You see what I mean, right? Sometimes you're dealing with the situation or you get used to things being so difficult that when things are quite simple, you just find yourself in a position where you're not able to trust in simplicity. You want to, rather than just naturally see things as they are, you want to complicate matters with your mind because, well, you think that things ultimately have to be really complicated. But sometimes when we get into that particular approach, we end up, kind of tying our shoelaces together, tripping over our own feet, banging our knees, scratching our head, getting a little bit of dandruff, doing all sorts of things that make us feel uncomfortable, when in actuality, that first little hunch that you had was most likely the correct one. Even though life can be difficult, sometimes in that difficulty, there can be a simple answer. There can be a simple answer. And we don't need to reinvent the wheel when instead we might need to just kind of sit still rather than perpetually being in motion, going round and round like a spinning top, again, getting dizzy, making ourselves feel like we're more confused than we were in that first initial moment. This particular full moon is taking place in Sravana Nakshatra. Sravana Nakshatra is symbolized by the ear. It gives us the capacity, when well attuned, to hear things that are beneath the surface, to see things that aren't obviously apparent. But sometimes with Sravana energy, we see multiplicity. We see several different options and we get confused about which particular path we should go down. And that's specifically the case when we're dealing with this particular full moon cycle, because across from it is the sun in Ashlesha. right? Ashlesha gives deeply penetrating insight. Now, both of these nakshatras, they give you so much more than that. Their energies are vast, multifaceted, and more in depth than I'm touching on here. But we're touching on the salient points for the sake of this conversation. So sometimes that deeply penetrating insight, though, can want to go too deeply into the situation. And at that point, wisdom or knowledge becomes somewhat toxic to us. Ashlesha Nakshatra is connected to the serpent deities, the Sarpa, right? And it's the concept that knowledge and wisdom can often bring us the growth that we need, but it's like a double-edged sword. And if we go a little too far in a certain direction, we can fall off. And basically, Ashlesha Nakshatra is a Tikshna and Daruna Nakshatra. So it's sharp, right? It makes us feel like we're walking the razor's edge. And it makes us feel like the situation could tip in either direction at any moment. And because there's that feeling going on within, at the same time that there's this hunch, this intuition, this idea that, hey, this is what really needs to be done, it places you in a position where, for the sake of honor and for the sake of wanting to do the right thing, you stand the potential of getting in your own way. So how to deal with this during this particular full moon cycle? Well, don't pick apart perfection. When a simple solution is available, don't scrutinize it. Recognize that complexity corrupts completely, almost as much as awfully artsy alliteration does. Keep it simple. That first hunch that you're feeling is most likely the correct one. And it's that most likely bit that I just said, which makes you question. But don't. Your hunch is correct. If you could use a little bit of help sorting through any complexity which may be existent in your life, please feel free to schedule in one of my Empower Hour consultations. They're available at a discount for all of my YouTube viewers using the code YT at the link you'll see above. That's going to do it for this look at the full moon in Sravana Nakshatra, taking place on the 1st of August, 2023. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.